all the bad shit, if I may call it that, that happens in your life. And I say happens because it just happens around you. It doesn't happen to you. You decide to make it that way. It's really a matter of perception. And if you feel like bad or unpleasant things happen in your life a lot, perhaps you feel it's unfair. Perhaps you go through more than what other people go through. And granted, some of us do go through more than others, are exposed to more than others, I should say. And I'll come back to that point later. But let me dig into this part first. It's a matter of perception. Things happen, and until the day that you take some accountability and you realize how much of a part you play in the way things affect you, the way you perceive them. Until then, you're going to keep suffering as much as you are, at least. I'm not telling you that you can stop suffering, but certainly you might be doing more of it than you should, or than, you could actually go through less, is what I'm saying, if you wanted. Right. So, things happen, and you can perceive them in any number of ways, and these might be things that most people would agree are not good. But and I think I've talked about this before. These might be things that most people would agree are not good, but not everybody is going to take them the same way. Some people might take them hard, and some people not as much. Some people might be able to just breeze right through them, and it won't affect them in any way, shape, or form. At the same time, you have people who have relatively easy lives from the point of view of most of us, right? And they suffer. They suffer a lot, right? Like I said, it's a matter of perspective. You can suffer in a mansion, and I really hate this quote. I think it's disgusting. I almost don't want to say it. You can suffer in a Bugatti, right? You can cry in it, or a Lamborghini, whatever. And I'm disgusted by people who say that they would love to cry in a Lamborghini. I mean, are you really happy because you have because you have a nice car? I don't really understand that, and I won't really say much more on the matter. It's visceral. It disgusts me that people would say some shit like that. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand the priorities people have sometimes. Greed has always been around, but I mean, I'm not going to say it's more of a problem now than it ever has been, but it's definitely not something that has disappeared. That's for sure. That was a thing I was going to cover that I mentioned earlier. What was I going to say? I mean, I think I did cover it. You know, you know, like I said, it comes down to perspective. Um, and if I didn't cover it, I apologize. I don't know if it's normal to lose a train of thought once you jump onto another one. I'm pretty sure it is. People will say that it's not. Some people are just cool like that. I think that's amazing. I think I'm going to give you a few thumbs up for that one. I think you're a wonderful human being. Maybe a bit of a piece of shit, but I think it's great, right? If that you don't go through the things that most of us go through. If you want to single yourself out in that way, I've met plenty of people who think that they eat and then the food just disappears, right? I mean, I don't understand it. That's another thing. I'm gonna leave that one alone, um, and I guess I'll leave it at that.